in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to the MBA Litmus channel. I'm hoping that you're all doing great. And in this session, we are having a battle of three very amazing titans. We are comparing IIM Kozhikode, XLRI, and SPJAIN. All three absolutely amazing tier 1 colleges. But between the three, which one is the best? If you have all three calls converted, which one should you go? If you're preparing for CAT, which one should you target? Which one is the best amongst them all, and which one is doing well on what parameter is what we're going to discuss today. So I'm hoping that you're all doing great. Welcome to the channel. This is your friend and guide Sudhanshu at 99.7 Quants 100 IIM Lucknow. And in this brief video, we're going to compare XLRI, IIM Kozhikode, and SPJAIN. All three absolutely amazing. तो कौन सा कॉलेज आपको सेलेक्ट करना चाहिए इन तीनों के बीच में, और आपके क्या इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर्स होने चाहिए? आज हम चार इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर्स के बारे में बात करेंगे इस सेशन के अंदर. वी गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट फीस, वी गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट ROI, placements, and also overall infrastructure and everything else. So let's get started. Let me quickly fire up my deck and then let's get started with this session. Hoping everybody is able to hear this, able to see this. So let's get started. Okay. So fees, placements, batch size, and roles and companies is what we're going to talk about. And we are comparing three very amazing colleges today. IIM Kozhikode, SPJAIN, and XLRI. कौन सा सबसे अच्छा है तुम्हारे लिए, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Let's start. सबसे पहले दोस्तों फीस की कंपैरिजन कर लेते हैं. अपने कंट्री के अंदर MBA इज बेसिकली बिटवीन 20 to 30 lakhs अगर हम टॉप टियर कॉलेजेस के बारे में बात करें, राइट. अगर हम बात करें इन तीनों कॉलेजेस के अंदर, you have IIM Kozhikode, which is relatively inexpensive, 23.5 lakhs approximately. SPJAIN is around 25 and XLRI is around 27, correct? So these are your lump sum charges. Obviously there'll be some additional costs that you will incur because obviously you will eat outside, you will have some celebrations, birthday parties, placement celebrations, etc, etc. All of that is over and above, but the bare minimum cost that you're going to definitely have between these colleges are these. Now if you compare, IIM Kozhikode is definitely the cheapest, XLRI is definitely the most expensive amongst these three, right? That is number one. If I talk about, let's say, the placement data, what is the placement data telling us? The placement, if you look at, the highest placement is generally going to IIM Kozhikode. So 81 LPA is what is the highest at IIM Kozhikode. Then it is SPJAIN and then it is XLRI, right? So that is number one. Now, if I compare the average salary is highest at SPJAIN. So you have 33.75. Then the average is higher in case of XLRI, and then finally the average is around 28 for IIM Kozhikode. All three absolutely amazing. SPJAIN average is going to be higher obviously because the batch size is lowest. So the batch size at SPJAIN is 356 compared to XLRI 576 and IIM Kozhikode 561. So amongst the three, IIM Kozhikode and XLRI nearly have the same batch strength. XLRI is slightly higher than IIM Kozhikode, right? Now, if I compare the median, right? The median is a very important metric. So median is 27.5 at Kozhikode, 29 at XLRI, and 32.85. So in terms of median, SPJAIN definitely beats the other two and is performing really well in terms of placements at this point in time. So if you actually look at the overall ROI, the best is at SPJAIN between the three, IIM Kozhikode, XLRI, and SPJAIN. All three are really very close if you compare whether in terms of fees, whether in terms of placement and everything. Just one thing which really separates SPJAIN is the batch size. Okay. Now, if I talk about the competition within these colleges, right? The competition is minimum at SPJAIN, right? While it is maximum at XLRI, and IIM Kozhikode is also pretty close with XLRI. SPJIMR has a clear advantage because the per student placement attention is maximum in case of SPJAIN as compared to the other two. However, if I talk about the roles and top recruiters, you have dominance of consulting in all three. So nearly 1/3 of the companies are consulting companies inside IIM Kozhikode, SPJAIN, as well as XLRI. Wherein you have the consulting max at SPJAIN. You typically have the top of the top companies like BCG, Bain, visiting all three, McKinsey visiting SPJAIN, and off and on visiting the others also, right? So you will have the top of the top companies, pretty much similar companies are visiting. The amount of or the fraction of consulting companies is greater in case of SPJAIN, right? And that is something which also it can be attributed to the Mumbai advantage that SPJAIN has. The location for SPJAIN is Mumbai, XLRI is Jamshedpur, and IIM Kozhikode is Kozhikode. Well, you know that already, right? Now, if I compare the roles, right, IIM Kozhikode being an IIM, having that IIM tag, that IIM power, is able to pull out a lot of balanced roles, right? While SPJAIN has very heavy FMCG, marketing and consult based roles. XLRI, no doubt if you have an HR inclination, there is absolutely nothing like XLRI if you have an HR inclination. If you are wanting to go for an HR, no comparison. Just shut this video. Before that, like the video. But if you are looking for more balanced approach, more if you're not sure whether you want to get into marketing or whether you want to get into consulting, then IIM Kozhikode gives you a rather balanced approach in terms of placements, while SPJAR is more towards marketing and consulting, right? If I, then talk about the final verdict, which one should you choose? For all the people who watched this session till so far, make sure that you like the stream, subscribe to the channel for sure, because we're going to bring in all the videos that are relevant. There are going to be more videos on people joining college this year. There are going to be academic as well as strategic videos for people preparing for CAT and other entrance examinations, right? So do hit the subscribe button, like this video and share it with everybody who has these colleges and is wanting to compare, right? Now let me talk about the final verdict. Okay, I'll tell you my inclination also. Okay, SPJAN, very very amazing ROI. XLRI, legacy, alumni network, brand value, and most importantly HR dominance. If you have HR in mind, don't do anything else but XLRI. If you have ROI in mind, then SPJAN definitely is a very strong bet. However, if you are looking for IIM tag, okay, then IIM Kozhikode is the best. See, between the three, there is not a lot of difference. But if you have all three converted, I am slightly inclined towards IIM because trust me, there is one thing which is very very close to my heart, and that is the IIM tag, because that is something which never gets old, my friend. That's something which everybody is looking at. Trust me, if you go to a tier 2, tier 3 place in a plant, people might not know other colleges, but they will definitely know two names, IIT and IIM. This is something which works everywhere. Even if somebody is, from a lower IIM also, they tend to get more respect than, some of the top non-IIMs. Now, that is not something which is prevalent in case of people like us who are aware of the top colleges that are there. But once you move, into tier 2, tier 3, people tend to respect IIM tag more. So if you are, for example, let's say not very ROI centric, then I think IIM Kozhikode makes a lot of sense for you. And if you have converted all three, I think that's a beautiful problem to have. And between the three, I think you have to take a call basis what is the best for you. If you have any questions and if you would want us to analyze any further colleges, you would want to compare a few colleges, do let us know in the comments and we'll certainly take it up. All the sessions that we are doing in terms of comparing colleges are basically student recommendation. Trust me, we are not doing these videos basis our planning. This is primarily from the students, the requests that we've been receiving. Happy to hear from you as to what is it that you would want, and we'll do exactly that. So just follow the channel and make sure that you keep putting in your requests in the comments so that we can take it up and bring in more useful content to help you out. I'm hoping that this helps. If you have anything, do let me know. Do let us know in the comments or reach out to us at the contact given in the description. And for people who've converted their B schools, you can get started with the MBA Launchpad. You will find the details in the description wherein you will get all the important elements that you will require inside the B school from a summer placement standpoint inside MBA Launchpad certification program. The details and the description. God bless. Take care and bye-bye.